This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Welcome back to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. It is me, Hani Balkis, with Omnia Saleh, bringing you everything you need to know about what's happening in the tech world and in the UAE. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, the 14th of January, 2021, and I'm very excited because number one, it is Thursday, and we are getting into our weekend, and number two, we have news and interviews for you today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. Very interesting content coming up on Future Talk today because we're talking all about YouTube joining Twitter in banning Donald Trump and suspending his channel. I feel like Donald Trump is being fought away from all types of platforms.
Not only platforms, but the people close to him as well. Everyone is kind of getting away from the Donald. But we're also talking about asset management sector and how they launched the Sharai car platform.
Yes, indeed. Right here in the heart of Sharjah, you can go ahead and buy your very own car from Souq al-Haraj. And we're going to be telling you exactly how and how easy it is to use the application. But coming up on the show, we're also talking all about hanging pods because Skypods is the topic of discussion today. And even though flying cars seemed like a far-fetched dream, hanging pods is a reality happening right here in Sharjah at the Sharjah Research, Technology and Innovation Park. Skyway Green is making its moves because we're going to be discussing what they are all about with the chief executive, Mr. Oleg Zaretskiy, who's going to be telling us about these Skypods. How soon will they be transporting passengers across their tracks, and what is in store for their company?
Yes, indeed. A long-awaited interview with Mr. Zaretskiy. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, we got all the news for you in a bit, but we're going to leave you with Hard Away.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Your quick roundup of everything that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE and around the world. Big news is happening right here in Sharjah because anyone living in Sharjah would know how much of a value and how part of our heritage is Souq al-Haraj. But now the asset management sector of Sharjah's management company is launching a Sharai platform and application. So now you can go ahead and actually purchase the cars found in Souq al-Haraj. This is a digital platform and a smart application that is providing an opportunity for both the public and the merchants to go ahead and create such a business from a very traditional piece of heritage.
Yes, and this also enables merchants to reach a wide range of dealers and customers from the local, regional, and global markets. Now, this will be according to the best technical standards. Now, Mohammed bin Isa, Chief Officer Asset Management Sector at Sharjah Asset Management, did state that they do seek to provide and launch quality, innovative projects that will build a competitive economy for the Emirate of Sharjah, and also at the same time achieving high and distinguished rates of demand for its digital platforms in light of its keenness to achieve and translate its strategies.
Yes, indeed. Through the launch of the Sharai digital platform and smart application, we're looking at Sharjah entering a brand new phase of e-commerce, and this will definitely benefit the merchants of Souq al-Haraj, but also all the users of the platform itself, because the applications allows all merchants to actually become a part of it. Any company or individual that would like to purchase a car from Souq al-Haraj can go ahead and do that. But the best part about it is that those from inside and outside the country will be able to benefit from all the services, as they do plan to expand the scope of the app to also serve international buyers.
Yes, it is also worth noting that the Sharjah Asset Management does also seek to provide an innovative and stimulating work environment, one which always guarantees uninterrupted services and does achieve its overall objectives and vision to boost sustainable development in the Emirate of Sharjah and in the UAE. Now, the company has so far implemented a series of protocols at the leadership and staff level. Now, moreover, monitoring the suppliers is undertaken to ensure the smooth functioning of the supply and logistics chain. Now, development in the Emirate of Sharjah and the UAE is having extraordinary circumstances and procedures at the personal and leadership levels.
So now, as a user and as a person living right here in the UAE, you can definitely go ahead and check out all the cars that are being sold at Souq al-Haraj on the platform itself, but also international listeners can go ahead and purchase them soon enough. But as we celebrate great news happening right here in the heart of Sharjah, someone worldwide in the US is celebrating his banning off of
His downfall,
YouTube.
yes.
His banning off of YouTube, just like he got banned off of Twitter.
Yes, indeed. Now, President Donald Trump, U.S. President Donald Trump, has been banned off of YouTube after YouTube has joined Twitter and Facebook to suspend Donald Trump's channel. Now, Donald Trump is under a lot of fire, ladies and gentlemen. He has just been impeached for the second time. And this is the second time in U.S. history that a U.S. president will be impeached in a single term. Now, YouTube is suspending U.S. President Donald Trump's channel for at least 1 week and could be potentially even longer after his channel earned a strike under the platform's policies.
If you're wondering why is U.S. President Donald Trump being banned off of YouTube, well, the whole answer lies in the most recent video that he published on his channel. YouTube did announce that this video has been removed, but the video was enticing violence. It was actually encouraging people to go ahead and riot against U.S. President-elect Joe Biden. And YouTube did decline to share details of the video that earned Donald Trump that strike. But it did say that after the 1 week timeout, they will go ahead and revisit the decision. I would not be surprised if YouTube suspended Donald Trump indefinitely because Twitter did ban him first for about 24 hours and then it extended the ban indefinitely.
Now, the video sharing platform YouTube did add that it will be taking extra step for disabling comments underneath videos on Trump's channel. Now, the company's policy does state that earning a second strike will result in a 2-week suspension and 3 strikes will result in a permanent ban. Now, we're looking at YouTube addressing the Donald Trump situation as a normal user situation.
Yes.
You made a first mistake, strike number 1. Second mistake, strike number 2. Third mistake, strike number 3, and you're out of there. So that's what we're looking at, how YouTube is handling the Donald Trump situation. Although Facebook and Twitter are taking a different approach, and granted, they should be taking a different approach because making a YouTube video, does require more of a team, an effort and a team. Donald Trump just can't take out his camera and be like, hey, guys, and start talking. But on Twitter and Facebook, he can just type whatever he wants and tweet whatever he wants, and he will influence the masses.
Yes, indeed. YouTube is actually also taking one extra step to make sure that it is preventing any damage coming out of U.S. President Donald Trump by disabling the comments that are underneath the videos on all of Trump's channel. The company's policy states that earning a second strike will result in a 2-week suspension, and 3 strikes, as you've mentioned, Hani, will result in a permanent ban. So we're looking at U.S. President Donald Trump actually we're foreshadowing that he may be banned indefinitely.
I don't think he'll be banned on YouTube indefinitely because he has been cornered and he won't actually put anything anymore because we're looking that everyone has turned their backs on U.S. President Donald Trump, and the first of them being his vice president, U.S. Vice President Mike Pence. Now, when your second-hand man or your right-hand man turns his back on you, you're in a lot of trouble. I want to know your guys' thoughts. 4215 or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. Is it correct for Facebook and Twitter to ban President Donald Trump? And is YouTube doing the right thing? We're going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, we have a very special interview with a long-awaited guest.
Yes, indeed. Oleg Zaretskiy is going to be joining us to tell us all about the future of transport that is launching right here in the heart of Sharjah.
This is Future Talk
with Omnia Saleh and Hani Balkis.
From self-driving cars to the Hyperloop, every single day we hear about new ways of transportation coming into the future for humans to get from point A to point B. But today, we're talking about a reality of the future of transport taking place right here in the heart of Sharjah. Sharjah has recently launched the UAE's first high-speed electric skypod network, and Skyway Green Tech's chief executive, Mr. Oleg Zaretskiy, is joining us today to tell us all about it. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Oleg.
You're welcome. I am welcome.
It's a pleasure having you on the show. Now, it's been a long awaited to interview someone from Skyway, but let's kick off the conversation by asking you, how does the Skyway pod network actually work?
Actually, this is, first of all, we should talk about Unitsky String Technology that we are doing some rebranding now. Mm-hmm. And the Unitsky String Technology company group, it is the international group of companies that designs, manufactures, and operates the new completely innovative transporting system that is based on application of pre-stressed rails that are going above the land and completely electrical pods So what we consider that this is the transport of the future.
Yes.
And a lot of people may be wondering, we are talking about hanging skypods. It's a great and a very interesting concept, but how many passengers can it hold at one time? So every unicar pod, how many people can it carry?
Our advantage that we have developed the whole product line actually. So we have, for example, Unibike
Yes.
that accommodates just 2 passengers, Then we have
COVID safe.
Exactly. Then we have Unicar, and we have Unicar in VIP version for 4 people, or in normal version for 6 people, and then we have Unibus that can accommodate up to 40 people.
Now, can you talk to us about the interior design of every pod and what will every person riding actually experience in these type of pods?
Okay, it depends. If it is just common design for all, just for normal, ordinary use, I would assume that it will look like simple bus. So when you are inside, it's just normal transporting system, with the difference that you are traveling not on the land, but you are traveling in the sky.
Yeah.
So actually you will get more pleasure, definitely.
And I would believe it would look amazing, kind of going through that environment, suspended up in the air. Now, we do know that this was under the directives and the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al-Qasimi.
Exactly. Actually, we would assume that Sharjah will be the happening place for our project. The first commercial project we are expecting in Sharjah, because it is under direct supervision of His Highness ruler of Sharjah.
Yes.
And what we feel support from Sharjah Research Technology Innovative Park, from personally their chairman,
Yes.
Hussein Al-Mahmoudi. So we feel full support from the government. And the first project is on the table in Sharjah Department of Town Planning and Survey. We are waiting for their green light for go ahead, because we have hardware, we have everything.
Everything is ready. We're just waiting for that green light. Mr. Oleg, can you talk to us a little bit about the experience that VIP riders would get to see? So you've discussed how, the common design would be that of a bus. But let's talk a little bit about those who choose to ride in the VIP unipod.
Okay, consider that you find yourself, for example, inside Bentley car, yeah?
Yeah.
So you will have all these things. You will have TV screen, you will have some, I don't know, food. No food here, but some luxury upholstery and all these things that you will have, and then you will travel in the sky and with quite high speed. So our passenger pods can move up to 150 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
Plus to this, we have high-speed version of transport. This is completely different. That can travel up to 500 kilometers per hour. So we have different types of products.
Now, what I have read online is that the Skyway, it can be also connected to the universities in the university city of Sharjah, correct?
Yes, you are completely right. And again, the ball is with Sharjah Department of Town Planning and Survey, because they have in mind something. They have in mind certain projects in Karfakan. They have in mind projects inside the Sharjah city. Connection of airport with Sharjah, connection of university with Sharjah city, and the main thing that we are considering is the cargo line, container line from Sharjah to Karfakan.
And let's talk a little bit about the speed of these pods. So you mentioned that they can go up to 500 kilometers per hour at a maximum speed. What differentiates them from the speed of a cable car?
Because cable car, it doesn't have speed at all. You know
Yes.
what is the story? The story is that in cable car, the car it stays on one place relatively to the rope.
Yes.
You can see that the rope moves.
Yeah.
So you cannot move the rope with speed, let's assume even 20 or 30 kilometers per hour.
Absolutely.
So, but in our place, what we have real pod vehicle that moves on the rail, on the hanging rail. And the rail, it's special invention. It is done with the pre-stressed special steel wires. And of course, we have steel wheels that moves on the steel wires, and it is the lowest possible friction. That is why we have different, again, pods. One transport is completely different, what we call high-speed pod.
Yeah.
And the second, what we can offer, it is just normal passenger transport that can travel with 150 kilometers per hour. That is a lot for the city,
Yes.
am I right?
Yes, 100%. And I would like to believe that it would also reduce traffic in the Emirate of Sharjah as well.
Of course, because you know what happens, that all cities, not only Sharjah, they are quite congested.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as soon as there should be some solution that will increase passenger flow without additional congestion to the traffic, of course there is only one solution.
Yeah.
And we call it that it is our project, it is our technology. Okay, Hyperloop, when it will come.
Yeah.
Far-fetched dream.
Yeah, but our line you can go and you can see.
Yes.
True.
100%.
And of course, having some hardware on the spot, it gives us not only opportunity to present something, it gives us opportunity to get practical tests, to get practical certification, to get experience not only in designing but in operating. So this is what advantages do we have.
And going back and you talking about how you can actually see it now. When I'm ever in the Muel area or going to the University City, I pass by the Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park all the time, and I could see the railways being built and some of them already finished. And it does put a smile on my face to know soon enough we're going to see this technology implemented here.
Of course. So the first line, that is 400 meters, the first operating track, it will be ready, I hope, middle of February, end of February, it will be fully operational. Now it's already almost operational, just little bit touch-ups and that's it. And because Sharjah government, they are very much interested in cargo line, so we rushed into constructing the cargo line. So what you see, 2,000 meters truck for moving containers. Because His Highness, he dreams to see container moving like bullet through the mountain.
Yes.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is what we want to show.
It's going to be an amazing sight to see, hopefully.
Yes, indeed. Coming up on the show, we're going to be talking all about the time that these unipods can actually save, since as we know, time is money. If you have any questions for Mr. Oleg Zaretskiy, make sure you send them in at 4215 do Ittisalat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Keep Pulse 95 locked. We'll be right back.
Future Talk. This is Future Talk.
With Omnial Saleh and Hani Balkis.
If you're living right here in Sharjah, you must have passed by the airport road and the University City Road, and you must have seen the tracks of the hanging skypods that we are talking about today. Sharjah has recently launched the UAE's first high-speed electric skypod network, which basically puts the Hyperloop aside, flying cars aside, and brings the future of transport into reality. Joining us today is Skyway Green Tech's Chief Executive, Mr. Oleg Zaretskiy, who's been telling us all about those unipods and how close they are to reality. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Oleg.
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the track that the pods are hanging from? A lot of people have seen them. I've seen them for
I've seen them, yes.
Hani has seen them, and it's been crazy to see the transition. It feels like every week I pass by that road, I see more of the track being built. So can you talk to us a little bit about how the technology, or what technology are they based upon, and is there any form of friction that pulls against the pods?
Of course. Look, actually, it's not simple technology, and I would say that in our headquarters that are located in Minsk in Belarus, more than 600 engineers, they permanently work on development of different solutions. Talking about the track structure, we have different tracks. Again, we have a rigid track, semi-rigid track, and flexible track. But what it is interesting to know that each track, it consists of pre-stressed steel wires that enjoy themselves inside special polymer in order to avoid rust. So it means that we guarantee around 100 years durability for the track. Anti-rust durability and 1 hour durability.
So this does come in also in handy when we're talking about the harsh conditions that we have and how they can withstand the heat, and sometimes it does get a little bit rainy here in Sharjah. So we're looking at that. This is an all-terrain, 100 years guarantee, and this also is good because of cost-wise as well.
Exactly. Just a couple of words about that. One of the reasons why we started here was that we wanted to adopt our technology in accordance with high temperature,
Yes.
local conditions. And the pod Unicar that we have now in our innovation center, it completely corresponds to requirement. For example, there are special blowers, special fans that
Cool
blows
down.
away dust from
Yeah.
the rail when it moves. That is what we don't have in Europe. And of course, from our point, just answering your question towards the cost, I would not assume, I am sure that we are cheaper than any similar transport in the same condition, with the other equals. So if we talk, for example, about the urban area, we don't need, when we do our suspended rail, we don't need to demolish buildings, for example. Yes, we can just do some spot construction. When we talk about, for example, open area, agricultural area, we don't need allocation of land. So it means that people can harvest below our line. So land is still can be used by people.
Now you were talking about how cargo is becoming your main focus right now, and you guys are rushing it. Now, how much weight can the cargo pods actually carry?
You know that the standard weight of container is 27 ton.
Okay.
So the pod that carries container, so the line that can carry container, it specially designed for 27 ton
Mashallah.
load.
Wow, that is phenomenal.
And it can go one by one.
Yeah.
One more talking about container. We don't need container terminal. So let's assume that our line comes directly to the seaport. And if you go to Jebel Ali or to Sharjah seaport, you will see huge container terminal nearby the port, where you have to unload container from the ship to the port, and then you will be waiting when truck will come and other thing. And what is our idea? That from the ship, container can be placed directly to the line and then moved to container terminal somewhere inland.
So there you go. You're actually freeing up land space and also cutting down the travel time.
Exactly.
And cutting down traffic. Now, we do see a lot of huge trucks going by the
True.
airport road in Sharjah as well.
Exactly. And these heavy trucks, they damage road a lot.
True.
So when you are asking me about our cost advantage, you should keep in mind annual repair of roads.
Yeah.
True. And especially because even though we can fight congestions by building more roads, in the long term and in the bigger picture, it is a lot cheaper to invest in SkyPod networks.
I will tell you more. It
Yeah.
is much cheaper in the long run, but it is cheaper in the short run as well.
Yes.
For example, now everybody knows that in very simple condition, the construction of asphalt road costs around $1 million per 1 kilometer. In mountains, for example, Sharjah, I think they announced that last year there was one road that was constructed in Kalba area, around $10 million per 1 kilometer.
Wow.
We will be cheaper. We will be 30-40% cheaper. And of course, our technology, it allows saving money in a short run, but even more in a long run as well.
100%.
And as well, looking at it, I mean, I would rather have a Skyway than go and use the traditional transport. That's just me. I would rather jump in these
Same.
type of pods, and it's an experience, and it's brand new, and it does cut down on travel time as well. As you are going, there's no traffic, and you did tell us about the high speeds and the normal speeds that these cars can go on.
Of course. And we pay a lot of attention to safety.
Yes, safety is important.
Your
yes.
next question.
I was just going to ask about that safety aspect.
Your next question. What's about safety? Because it is high. So,
and it is fast as well. You're talking about 500
it is
kilometers
fast.
per hour.
It is fast, and it locates us somewhere above.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
usually people, they are a little bit worried about this. What I would say that we are much safer. First of all, the normal traffic cars, they are killers. 100,000 people every year, they are killed in traffic
Yes.
accidents around the world. So when we talk about Unitsky string technologies, about Unitsky string transport, then we can see that there are no crossroads, there are no switches, and these all transport ports, they are going one after another and in the same way backwards.
Yes.
So it means that there is no actually any
Nothing to
chance
collide
for
with.
collapsing.
And a certified technician is controlling the pods.
Of course,
Yes.
it is completely automatically controlled. We use the artificial intelligence
Yes.
to control pods. They see themselves. They follow up the distance. They follow up the necessary speed.
Algorithms, programs, all of it is being
Exactly.
implemented.
And
yeah.
even when pod stopped somewhere high, then we have special escape system. When people can escape using special stairs that is now packed under the
Wow.
unicar. Yeah.
Amazing. So no one should worry about being stuck up there. There's always ladders that can be placed all the way down.
Yes,
Definitely.
indeed. Yeah. Now, for me myself, I want to know how long until we're seeing this that a normal person like you and I can just go into these pods. How long are we looking at? Time, estimated of a time.
As I told that, mostly it depends on decision of Sharjah
Yes, of
Department
course.
of House Planning,
Yeah.
of Town Planning and Survey. Of course, now they're doing feasibility study. We are together. We are doing alignment where we are looking for the best route. But then when we have the green light, kick off, start, then we will start immediately because we have
Absolutely.
everything now in the ground.
100%. Coming up on the show, we're going to be talking all about the inspiration behind these SkyPods. If you have any questions for Dr. Algi Zaretskiy, make sure you send them in at 4215 do it Salat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio.
This is Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Al Saleh and Hani Balkis.
A long-awaited interview that we finally have done right here on Future Talk on Pulse 95 with Skyway Green's Tech Chief Executive. We've had a very interesting and fun conversation right here on the show, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're tuning in towards the end, you can catch the podcast in a bit. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. We got a couple of more questions for the CEO.
Yes, indeed. Sharjah has recently launched the UAE's very first high-speed electric SkyPod network that is basically creating the future of transport right here in the heart of Sharjah. Mr. Oleg Zaretskiy, thank you so much for joining us today. A lot of people are probably wondering, this is a great innovation, but behind every great innovation, there's a lot of sweat and tears that went into it. Can you talk to us a little bit about the inspiration behind these SkyPods?
Of course. Actually, I would say that all this, the inspiration is related to one man, great man, visionary. His name is Anatoly Yunitsky. From, I think, 1950s, from his childhood, he was dreaming about entering into the space.
Yes.
So, until now, I think he's 72 years old. He's so much active. He's just shooting with ideas daily. Until now, he considers this Yunitsky string technology as just a first step to the space.
Wow.
Because I presented to your radio
Yes.
his book and just read it. Because non-rocket conquering of space, this is something that is in his dream. And that is something because he was related to rocket technology long ago. And by the way, our company, it uses Dassault software.
Yes.
You know, that is used for NASA, for
Yeah.
Rafael fighters and other things. So it means that Dassault software, our engineers, they use for designing, for engineering. It means that when you come and when you see our unicar, it looks like an aircraft.
Yeah.
So this is why I think that, and this inspiration and this attitude, it came from Dr. Anatoly Yunitsky.
Amazing. Now, looking at it, where do you see this technology going 5 years in the future? Or 10 years in the future?
Honestly.
We're all about honesty here.
Yeah. Look, we want to cover the Earth
Yes.
with lines of Yunitsky string technology lines. We want to have Trans-African line, for example, Trans-Asian line. We want to connect continents. And then, of course, the base of this, we want to come to planetary transporting system that
Wow.
will be
That would be
united.
phenomenal.
Do you think that it could kick off the airline industry?
Honestly, not.
Not,
But
okay.
yes, but it will get a lot of chunk from railroads and from car industry. Definitely.
Absolutely. It's interesting that you mentioned connecting planets and also connecting countries around the world, because there are also, I've heard there are plans that the Skypod could connect Emirates. So can you tell us a little bit about how much time or travel time would that cut?
Look, we have as in between cities, we would strongly recommend having a high-speed transport solution that can travel from 300 to 500 kilometers per hour. That means that to reach Abu Dhabi from Dubai, it will take not more than half an hour.
Wow.
Amazing. I mean, right now we're looking at an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, and sometimes even depends how inside you're going into Abu Dhabi, an hour and 45 minutes. So cutting that time down to 30 minutes is going to do a lot of wonders for everyone in the UAE.
Exactly. And then, of course, we can connect Ras Al Khaimah with Abu Dhabi and then going back to Saudi Arabia. I understand that there is Etihad Railroad.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand this. But again, from the point of speed, from a point of reaching the last mile, we can reach some places inside the city where Etihad Railroad will never reach.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. I mean, what the way you talked about the infrastructure and the way we can put these kind of stations anywhere in the city, not disturbing agriculture, not disturbing city lines or buildings as well. I'm looking at an area of so much potential that, again, going from emirate to emirate and even country to country is just like that easy.
Sometimes people want to develop tourist destinations.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of lands, they are allocated by UNESCO as historic